communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Millennium News 24/7. This is Tofader from our United States studio. Viewers, today is Women's Day. Today we have a special guest, our good friend Vincent, and our regular co-host and mental health activist Todd David Goldfinger. Both of you, welcome to our Millennium News 24. Please, Vincent, introduce yourself to our viewers.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here. This is a very special day today because I'm here to talk about a very special person and a very special occasion. This is a woman who came to the aid of her neighbors and country because her country was being invaded. Something that I'm sure people can understand right now because this very thing is happening in the world today. And I wanted to be sure that when we learn about Sybil Ludington, we learn about someone who had to rise to the occasion of an invasion and had to understand that this may very well be the last day of her life. She risked her life to do what she felt she needed to do. And now, 240 years later, she still does not have the recognition she deserves. And that is why we're on the air today.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you. Todd, introduce yourself, please.
Okay, so my name is Todd. I was a student, or let's say there was a theater, acting, poetry camp, wonderful experience at Sycamore Park here in Putnam County. And it was one of the great pleasures of my childhood to go to this camp because it was much better than school and I could relate to the people much better because they were artistic, you know. And this is what I want to accentuate, especially on today's program, Women's Day, to all the women, all the mothers, sisters, daughters, everybody for being in our lives, for being that special feminine energy. We need you. Necesitas. We necesitas. And Vin DeQuino has been a mentor of mine for many years. Let's say when I came back to America, you know, he basically put me on Comcast, you know, and that's what led us to be right here for you today. So thank you, Vinny, and thank you, Noah. So.
Thank you very much, both of you. Viewers, Women's Day is one of the most important things our life. Important day. We respect our mother, sisters, daughters, and surrounding all communities, all families. Women's make the family. Women's make the city, community. Also, women's these days run the world too. Few of the women right now, world number one politician. So, before 1990, we always put women behind of men, but ceiling is open after 1990. Now they are running the world. Viewers, we're going to ask our guest to explain what is going on in Ukraine, our mother and sisters and our daughters, and surrounding all people. Why Russian aggression is Ukraine? We don't like it. No one like it. But all politicians have to be work together, side by side. Please help us what we can do for the Ukrainian people. Mr. Benson.
Well, first of all, I want to take you to the moment of Sybil Ludington's glory so that I can help you to understand the Ukrainian dilemma. Back in 1777, the British invaded Connecticut. They brought 2,000 troops up through Connecticut, literally terrifying the people. When they arrived in Danbury, they began burning and destroying the city. Women and children were frightened. The rumor was that the British were coming to kill young boys because young boys become soldiers. Well, they didn't know what to do, so they sent out in several directions. One of the directions was New York. Sybil Ludington's father was a colonel in the militia. On the night that the messenger came to their house, it was 9 o'clock, pouring rain. I want you to understand that Sybil's mother was 31 years old. She had 7 children, most of them babies. And on that day that messenger pounded on that door, I am sure that those children woke up confused, scared, upset about what was happening. And then to complicate matters even more, that messenger was there to tell their father he would have to go to a battle where men were being killed. Since he was a commander, there was a good chance that the father of those children may have never seen those children again. Families, that family was totally disrupted. The oldest child of those children was a 16-year-old. She had just turned 16 3 weeks before. So I want you to imagine a house full of screaming, terrified babies, a family disrupted. And when the messenger said, "Colonel, you must send someone out into the farms, out into the country, out into the rain to gather your men to go to battle," there was only one person that night able to go, that 16-year-old female soldier. She went out, she got on her horse, her father gave her a stick. He said, "Bang on the shutters as you go through. Tell my men that Danbury is burning. They are needed at the parade grounds. They must come immediately." That young lady got on that horse, knowing that it might have been her very last ride, and she went out there. Her father had three groups of enemies: cowboys, skinners, and British. There was a reward on his head, dead or alive. If they knew that that girl out in that night was the colonel's daughter, they would have raped or killed her. And she went anyway. So off she went into the night. She rode all night long and did not get back home until daybreak. At that time, her father got on his horse, gathered all of his men together, and went off to battle. Was it a serious battle? Indeed it was. General David Wooster was killed in that battle. And a name that can be recognized in all of America, Benedict Arnold, was also in that battle. His horse was shot out from under him. A British soldier nearly killed him. He killed a soldier instead. The British then went back to the sea and back to their ships. Now, the question remains, why 240 years later did we not give this woman the respect she deserves? And it's clear. What many people say is, well, we have no record of that night. We have no record of that ride. We heard nothing about that ride until a nephew wrote a letter in 1854. Now, this ride was in 1777. So many people say, since we did not hear about it, the ride must not have been important. But let's understand Americans' dilemma, and let's understand the Ukrainian dilemma. It was absolutely dangerous to be on the other side. Sybil Ludington was riding for the Patriots, defending her country. All around her, there were enemies. There were people who were loyal to the king. If the message about her ride had gotten out to the enemies, they would have killed that young lady. They had to keep it quiet. They had to be careful because, just like today, it isn't only the Russians in Ukraine, it's the people who are on the side of the Russians that are in the Ukraine. There's enemies everywhere. Their lives are in constant danger, minute by minute, day by day. Lives are being taken, children and women, babies, just like on that night, there were babies in that Ludington home. If enemies came to that house, would they have killed the children? We don't know, because Sybil went out and did her duty, just like there are Ukrainians right now, women and children with guns in hand, trying to defend their lives, their country, their way of life, trying to be who they are in a world that is absolutely terrifying. And that is the very reason that we're on the show today. And that is the very reason that we have to make people know that what is going on is absolutely wrong.
You know, you bring exciting, bad, sad, everything together for our this world right now. 240 years ago, whatever Ukraine is happening right now, we have in our soil. Our grand mother, sisters, wife, children, they give their life for this land. But our politician, you talking the young lady, 16 years, she fight for the her soil, this land, but still we are not recognized. Our government, politician, They have to do that. What is their job? We send them Congress, Senate, White House for taking care their own self or our country, or our country pass what is going on. They don't do it. So
Yep.
they do
One
not
of the
do.
things that we have to remember, heroes have no specific age, they have no specific gender.
Exact.
Men, women, children, they are all heroes in the long run.
Or
And
color.
there will be so many heroes that you will never get to hear about.
You
People
know,
who will die as heroes today.
these days still our mother, sister, wife, daughter, they are they are they are working whole of the world for our democracy, taking care our democracy, but they give their life over there. Afghanistan, Iraq, Yemen, Syria, Libya, so many places, but we are not recognize them. We are not honored them. This is shameful. Is our government, our politician. So what politician and government have to do? What is their job, my brother Benson?
Yep. I
Mr.
mean,
DeQuino?
yep. One of the things that we will learn today and that we learned many years ago, freedom is never free. Freedom is something that we have to fight for, give our lives for, help our neighbors for. And when people violate our freedom, we have to do what we can do to support those people whose freedom is being taken away.
That's right.
And if your freedom is being taken away, you have to fight.
Todd, floor is yours.
No trouble.
That's what I want to say. If your personal freedom is being taken away anywhere you are in the world, doesn't matter the color of your skin, doesn't matter your gender either, okay? If your rights are being taken away from you, if you are not allowed to be a free and full 100% person, there's a problem with that, and then there's some fighting that needs to be done on your part. You need to stand up as the individual and claim your rights on this land, because hopefully there's enough room for everybody. Thank you and peace.
Yep. One of the things, the greatest ironies in the world is that it sometimes takes war to gain peace. And
That's right.
Yep. Unfortunately, that is what it takes. Sometimes we have to fight for that peace.
So
And we have to fight together for peace.
see, we don't see our life Second World War, but we are seeing right now Ukrainian, Russian people, Russian soldier killing, bombing Ukrainian human being, young children, young boy, young girl. You know why? They don't have to go to the war. They don't have to go to the fight. This is the things happening right now. I don't know what's happened 1939 to 1945, but that time they are not bombing whole of the country or whole of the city. Benson,
Yes.
you know,
We,
go ahead.
yep. The sadness is that atrocities and murder has been committed.
Murder of children as well, like what
Yes.
the Russian soldiers have done. Putin's
Absolutely.
army has done is killing children. Innocent
Yes.
lives, innocent lives. That cannot be more stated. I just had to say that. Thank you. Continue, Mr. DeQuino. Thank you.
And it's not new. It's been going on for years and years and years. And the question is, will we ever learn? What right do we have to take away the life and freedom of other people? because their country is our country, or is their country their country? And we have to understand the price of freedom. So, do we stop them? How do we stop them? It's a good question. A question that
block
we've been
them.
trying to answer
We have
for
to block
many
Putin.
years.
We have to block Putin on all social platforms, just
Yeah.
like the other divisive guy we had. Those bosom
Yeah.
buddies, those bosom bullies. All those bosom bullies we need to mute.
Yeah.
And, you know, the question is, can a small country like Ukraine, can it win its freedom? Well, I seem to remember 240 years ago, a bunch of farmers who wanted their freedom, and they were laughed at because Britain was a country with an established army, with an established navy, and they said, how could this little country beat someone like Britain? Well, they did. And we did earn our freedom because of our passion, our aggression, our women, and our children. Because it was something that we believed in, something that we had to fight for. And there were other countries that joined us in that fight. So, what do we do today? How do we stop what's going on in Ukraine?
You know,
I wish I knew.
Benson, I heard from media that time Russian soldier help us to independence our country, United States of America. This is true?
There were times in history that it did. Is it now? No, right now, unfortunately, they're not on our side right now, and neither are we on theirs. Do we condone what's going on in Ukraine? Not at all. How do we solve this issue? I don't know. I wish I did. I wish I did.
They can, our world community, they can stop the bombing, eh?
Well, I'm afraid, a lot easier said than done. Do we have the power to stop that bombing? Well, if we stop the airstrike, does that mean that we're going to go to battle with Russia? Then will more people die? It's a dilemma.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, in a situation like this, it's not easy to simply say, okay, this ends today. It's not easy to end what's going on there.
Exactly. I am just interfere you. NATO have a 30 countries. This 30 countries is totally strong country. Is so much bigger than Russia, Europe and America. So why we cannot stop the air space? What wrong with us?
I think the difficulty is in numbers of people who will be destroyed and killed. And one of the fears is that by stopping this, we will create a greater war that will kill more people. And it's a dilemma. And, you know, it would be great if our president could simply say, okay, from now on this war ends, or we'll come in and kill you, and we'll have a war. Well, then
That would be a diplomatic nightmare.
it would be a diplomatic nightmare. And unfortunately, it's not easily solved.
Probably
Hate.
that time,
Power.
yeah, exactly. Power games.
Let Mr. DeQuino say. I want to hear what Mr. DeQuino has to say on this one.
Go ahead.
Yeah, hate and power is the strongest thing to fight against. And the cost of power is the cost of freedom. It's the cost of lives.
That's true.
And we have to be diplomatic about this. But what does diplomacy cost? And what is the right answer? If that was easy, this would be over today.
That's true.
Sometimes one step forward is 3 steps backward. And we have to be very, very careful of where we step. This is like walking in a minefield. Every step has to be thought out absolutely carefully so that we do not take other lives with us.
Can I interfere
Also,
you?
I want to say one thing before you do, if I could say. It is our responsibilities as journalists, news reporters, and the media to report on the story and to tell the public what's going on, what's really going on also, our truth, and what we believe to hold true, because this is the power we have. So thank you, Noor. Continue, please.
You know, I don't know what side you are. We are talking as a journalist, as a host, our ex-administration and ex-president. Every single day he is on right-wing media. He is talking Ukraine is no country, never in the country. And Ukrainian people is Nancy. He tell on the air right now, what is going on. He is not have any power. He is the dumbless, and he is talking against current administration and constitution. This is right things, Vincent?
I'm going to tell you that one of the things that we have to be careful of is that there is as much danger in what we don't know as in what we do know. There's information out there that is being hidden from us. And there's things out there that we don't have the answers to. Who does? And which side is the right side? And which is the right move? And which is the wrong move? I wish I could say to you that I had the military ability to give you the answer and to give you the right leader at the right time.
That's right.
I can't do that for you. I can only see the destruction that is being caused. And I can only tell you that we have to open our ears and our hearts to what is going on. And only hope that someone has the sense to end this horrible catastrophe.
Horrible war.
It's a horrible war. It's a brutal war. It's a mean and evil war. And it's useless death.
A vindictive criminal act.
These things happening so many countries, so many years.
Yes.
Still is happening in Middle Eastern countries, African countries. I don't know what is wrong with the leaders and so-called NATO and UN. They are totally powerless people. They do not care. They do not care for other human being. What's wrong with them, Benson?
Perhaps they need to make one of their decisions while sitting at their kitchen table as their apartment is being bombed. Maybe when they're in the situation of the people that they're killing, that they'll think a little more clearly about who should and should not die.
Last administration, they tried to throw out the Statue of Liberty. Probably you know that. So they don't want any liberty in our soil and any immigration in our soil. So
this is authoritarianism.
exactly. So what are we going to say these things, man?
Well, the question is, how do you stop it?
Exactly.
And how do you reach up to the top of the people who are in charge? And how do you get them to understand the dilemma that they put people in? And
how do you get their attention in a safe way?
Yeah. While all this is going on.
That's right.
Put them in
At the same time, exactly.
I think you're making a mistake. You need to change your ways. Has that ever worked? Has that ever worked?
No? You know,
It has.
that time if anyone making rising the voice, they are talking from the White House, treason. Treason. Obama say something.
Yes.
He say, Trump coming on the air. He say he's against the Constitution. We should punish him. Do you remember that? So
He was jealous. He was jealous because he had
right
a huge
now,
march in Berlin.
right now, whatever he
Obama had a
doing,
huge march.
right now, whatever he doing, he should get hanged. You know, these
Well,
people.
we can't say that. We can't say
I
that.
I
but,
understood. I understood. But you know, millions of people right now, they are on the street, on the darkness, without food, without medicine, and how they walking elderly people. If you're gonna see, of course you see it. You know, 30, 40 miles. One like a 70, 80 years old grandmother, mother, and father, they have to walk to pass this Ukrainian land. What we are doing? We should stop. If they like to take over the country, we have to talk. Without talk, is not going to be stopped. This guy, he don't have any head. You know, Mr. Benson.
How many lifetimes? How many lifetimes do we have to live to learn that weapons don't solve problems?
Never ever.
It takes men, it takes women, it takes countries to work together to
It takes
save
brilliance.
lives. It takes brains. And unfortunately, if I've learned anything in life, I've learned that for every train of thought, there's another train on the other side. That there's always going to be two sides to every argument. And both sides are going to believe they're right. Who suffers? The people in the middle. The
Exactly.
people in the middle.
Exactly.
Getting squeezed out. They
Mr.
squeeze them out.
Mr. Benson and Todd, our time today almost end. Benson, this is your last word. If you like to say something for this Women Days in our United States of America and our world.
I want to say to you and remind you once again, war does not solve problems. People do. Intelligence, passion, understanding, compassion. That's what solves problems. We, as Americans, people of the world, have to know they do not stand alone. We are in this together. And together, we have to stop violence and death. And we have to remember that it's not age or gender or religion or color. We are people, and people must work together.
Thank you very much. Todd, this is your last word. Please, if you like to say something.
Last word, can I answer in song
Yeah.
for Women's Day?
Just
For
a
Women's
little
Day.
bit. Little bit.
One, just 4 lines.
Okay. Go ahead.
Bear with me, please. There's a light at the end of the rainbow. There's a light at the end of the sea. There's a light at the end of the rainbow. There's a light for humanity. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, both of you. Viewers,
Thank you for giving us the time to say what we feel.
most welcome, my brother, always. Viewers, our time is end for today. Please watch our Millennium TV news and today's America in iOS and Android device, all smart TVs, and also Amazon Fire TV, Roku TV, Apple TV, all social network, Millennium News 24/7. Also YouTube channel, news channel M24. Our website millenniumnews24.com, also millenniumtv24.com. Viewers, our colleague, friends, reporter, editorial, everyone working hard for bring the show for you. News, views, talk show, so many things. Please watch Millennium News 24/7, and we are respect our colleague and friends. Viewers, whatever you are, please stay peace, love, and happiness. Goodbye and take care for today.